Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there is a ton of news stories to get into today, and the biggest thing we have to talk about coming out of AEW Dynamite last night, of course, is that opening segment. Last night, AEW presented their Thanksgiving edition of Dynamite from Chicago, Illinois. It opened up with CM Punk making his big homecoming entrance in Chicago for his match against QT Marshall, but he was interrupted by none other than MJF, the same guy, of course, that he refused to shake hands with last week, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman let CM Punk have it, and it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. Now, the crowd of the Wintrust Arena wasn't just excited, they were less than thrilled, certainly, when CM Punk became the subject of an MJF roast that included the likes of shots like, the Hometown Heroes looks, his exit from WWE, his lack of success in the UFC, and it all stemmed, of course, from Friedman's resentment that CM Punk never mentioned him as a young AEW talent he wanted to face. Now, CM Punk then fired back that he was disappointed with MJF. He'd heard so much about him, but he's only seen Max go after the lowest hanging fruit. And this was the quote that really got a lot of people talking. There was loads of quotes in here that got a lot of people talking, lots of references to WWE, which I know people are going to say, I hate it when they do that. Why do they keep having to reference it? My point of view of that is, you can't talk about CM Punk's past. You can't talk about CM Punk's past without referencing WWE. It's like you can't talk about CM Punk's past without referencing Ring of Honor, all this kind of stuff. Like it's real. If we just ignore it, then you're not being real. You're not being authentic. And these kind of promos, this issue, they're blurring the lines, obviously. And that's the MJF character, isn't it? The MJF character doesn't care about any fourth walls. He plays with the audience and he touches nerves and he touches on real life. Sometimes he oversteps the boundaries and he steps over the line, but that's what he does. And that's his character, that's the gimmick. So how can he not talk about WWE? How can he not talk about UFC? How can he not talk about anything when it comes to CM Punk? But CM Punk also referenced WWE when he said that MJF was a less famous Miz, which got a big reaction from the crowd. And honestly, like the crowd, it wasn't like an, oh, I can't believe he said that. It was an, oh, I can't believe he said that. Plus, I want to say at least 20 or 30 seconds of the crowd just going crazy and AEW panning to the crowds and all that kind of stuff. Look, I saw some people on social media that were particularly upset by this. There were some people that liked it. There were some people saying, oh, why are you taking a shot at The Miz like that? CM Punk and The Miz, I'm sure, are fine with each other. CM Punk has made references to The Miz on social media before, right? When it was in 2019, when he told, I won't repeat it because YouTube won't be happy with me, but the tweet's out there of what he told The Miz to do regarding Saudi Arabia and all those kind of shows and all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure CM Punk, he doesn't care. And to be honest, I doubt The Miz cares either. The Miz has been with the WWE for such a long period of time. Was it 15 years? He's done something Punk hasn't done. He's main evented a WrestleMania. He's a two-time WWE champion. He's been on Dancing with the Stars. He's married to Maurice. I'm sure he's fine. And I'm sure he's very content with life. And I'm sure he could give a damn if CM Punk is going to reference him on Dynamite and say that MJF is a less famous Miz. Like, Miz is like really badly famous and bad at what he does, so MJF's even worse. That's the insult there, right? So that got people talking, and that's the point, by the way. So people getting angry on social media going, I can't believe he said that. I can't believe he said that. And some people saying, I thought it was great. People didn't see that coming. All that kind of stuff. That's the point. The point is to get people talking. The point is to have people like myself doing videos like this, to, putting tweets out going, that was great, all this kind of stuff. That's the point. But it didn't stop there. This was the first of several WWE references in this promo duel. Friedman said that Punk had gone PG and said that he might as well be preaching hustle, loyalty, and respect. John Cena was also part of MJF's point about Punk always being second best, but that one also included the King of Kings. He said that Punk was second best to the You Can't See Me guy, but he was also second best to the King of Kings, which again, I thought was great. And again, I know people will be going, oh, there's so much WWE references, all this kind of stuff. WWE's living in AEW's head rent-free. Again, my opinion on it is you can't do like a shoot promo or a shoot storyline or whatever when it comes to CM Punk without referencing this stuff. It's real. CM Punk is best known for his time in WWE. When he was there, he was one of WWE's top stars. Arguably the biggest rival in his career. I know people are going to say Samoa Joe and Bryan Danielson and all that kind of stuff from his Ring of Honor days, but certainly the guy he made the most money with and arguably his most memorable match is against John Cena. In my opinion, John Cena is CM Punk's greatest rival. He's had some amazing matches, and arguably the best match in his career was John Cena versus CM Punk at Money in the Bank. Yes, again, you can talk about Joe and Punk going 60-minute Broadway draws and the matches he had with Bryan Danielson, all that kind of stuff. But if you want to talk about the spotlight, making money, making moments, Punk versus Cena, they're the rivals. They're the rivals in that case. So, of course, you would bring that up. And CM Punk and John Cena are actually very good. They're very cool. They don't care. The thing about the King of Kings, it's great because there is heat there. They hate each other. Triple H doesn't like CM Punk. CM Punk doesn't like Triple H. They hold resentment stemming all the way back to when Punk first came in the company, but certainly afterwards, even when Punk got big in the summer of 2011, and what did they do? Triple H squashed it by beating him at Night of Champions, because that's how to get CM Punk over, brother. So, at the time when Triple H was retired on television, but at the very least a part-time performer, all that kind of stuff. So, of course, it's a great comment. It is. And again, if this is real, then why wouldn't you talk about it? But CM Punk, not to be one-upped by MJF, also used Triple H as a insult to MJF. He admitted there was some truth to what MJF said, but there was also a reason that he never mentioned MJF in interviews, because when he came to AEW, he went after its heart and soul, Darby Allin, and Punk beat him. And he didn't need a diamond ring to do it, referencing how MJF, of course, beat Darby Allin at Full Gear. He said MJF's so busy running his mouth about being one of AEW's 4 pillars that he didn't even notice that he'd been replaced by Britt Baker. But he wasn't done. He said there was also a bar about how MJF could only rise to the top in AEW if Tony Khan has a daughter that he can marry. Yeah, that Triple H reference, yeah. Again, if there's any indication that there's any love lost between MJF and CM Punk rather, and Triple H, there's the evidence that CM Punk has not forgotten. And he said in all of the interviews that he hasn't forgotten by any stretch of the imagination. And I thought it was a great reference because, so many people have said that. And again, it's CM Punk being CM Punk. And again, I know I've said it several times here, but people can talk about, I don't need to hear the WWE references. I don't need to hear about that company and WWE living, rent-free, all that kind of stuff. But it's real. What are you also going to say? UFC living rent-free in AEW because they reference UFC. For me, the segment was meant to be that it was a shoot. That was it. It was meant to be that it was a shoot. And they were just taking barbs at each other and they were going back and forth. My couple of critiques I would have about the segment is that it was long. It was about 20 minutes. It was the opening segment of the show, but it was 20 minutes. And at points, it must be said, I did think the promo work, all of it was really good. There was no points where I went, this segment's going off the rails. My only thought was it's just a bit long, and maybe you could have cut parts out of either promo to get where they needed to go, because that was it. CM Punk basically threatened to punch him in his somewhere. And he said, the last time I was in Chicago, I gave out home free ice cream bars, but now I'm going to make the crowd happy by punching him in his needle dick. And MJF's made it like he was going to fight and then he bailed. Look, when CM Punk was coming into AEW, and when CM Punk, even before CM Punk came into AEW, but it was just a case of, if CM Punk was to come in and he was going to go to All Elite Wrestling, who would you be excited to see him face off against? People said MJF for this very reason. They said MJF because they thought, man, the back and forth, the promo battles, that's what people said, didn't they? The promo battles between CM Punk and MJF's going to be so good. These guys, the promos they're going to cut, I just can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. The promo is going to be so great. And last night was evidence of, they are going to be so great. My concern would be, is a match going to live up to standards? MJF's not bad in the ring. He's not, and obviously CM Punk. I think I'm interested to see when they do it. I don't want to see them do it at Winter is Coming. Maybe, I don't think Battle of the Bouts or anything like that. I think maybe it needs to be the first TBS show, maybe. of AEW Dynamite, or maybe they drag this out to Revolution in February, March, whenever it's going to be next year. I don't know. I'm happy for them to take a long time with this one because I want to see them continuously do promos and do segments like this. This is just the beginning. You had last week about the handshake. You had this week with the back and forth in the hometown. There is so much scope for them to go in this one. And these are the kind of matches we were excited to see. Yes, we've seen CM Punk Darby Allin. Yes, we've seen CM Punk Eddie Kingston, which I thought was great. But I think it was these kind of matches where you were like, right, this is the one I'm really excited to see. MJF, he's been booked so strong during his time in AEW. Who's he only lost to? Jon Moxley and Jericho. That's about it. He doesn't really do jobs. And it's an interesting one because I think this is the argument now of when is CM Punk going to lose and who is he going to put over? And MJF certainly would be an answer to that question. MJF's the young guy. He is one of the pillars of AEW. He's a future world champion. He's already the top heel in the company, arguably, right? So it'd be a perfect person to defeat CM Punk, or is CM Punk going to be the guy to be one of the rare people to defeat MJF? I think, to be honest, they might trade victories. I don't know, but that's a good thing. It's a good thing not to know the direction that they're going to go in, but enjoying the ride. And that's certainly what I had in the segment last night. I enjoyed it. Whilst it was long, I thought that was great. And I'm excited to see where they go again. And I'm excited to see when the match happens and what their plans are for the match, because it's going to be good. No doubt about it. But look, guys, as always, this is just one man's opinion. What are your thoughts on last night's segment between CM Punk and MJF on AEW Dynamite? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I'll do my best to respond and reply to all of your comments. Really enjoy interacting with you guys, talking about AEW, Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling, WWE, all things pro wrestling here on the channel. So be sure to get involved in the community. Drop a comment below. All opinions are welcome. If you have enjoyed this video, please do smash a like on the like button too. Really does help us out here on YouTube, get the rankings, and get into people's recommendation feeds if they haven't seen our videos previously. But most importantly, if you haven't already, please do subscribe to WrestleNews 365. You can do that by clicking the bottom right-hand corner of the screen right now. Or if you wait a few seconds, there'll be a subscribe button at the end of this video, along with another video for you to watch. Thank you very much for watching, listening, streaming, or having come across this video today. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.